What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the fourth episode of Rap Roots Interviews. We are here today with TokyoAnt. Say what's up to my boy. Say what's up.
What's good, everybody?
Yeah, what's up? So first off, I just want to have all the guests tell the audience a bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, how you got into the music space in a sense.
TokyoAnt, coming from Jackson, Tennessee. I'm a Tennessee boy right now, stationed in the Nashville area. Um, as for my introduction to music, as cliche as it may sound, like I was born into it. It's always been around me. My dad's a musician. My granddad's a musician. So it was kind of like bound to happen. I got older cousins that are musicians, so like me just growing up and just kind of soaking it all in, and kind of they also enabling it in me as well. It just kind of created the person you see now.
So I did want to ask you, you're a hip hop artist in a predominantly country area. I mean, Nashville is like the country spot. So what's that like? What's that process like?
Okay, so like it is predominantly country, but that's mainly I would say an outside perspective of it. Like outside perspective, you thinking Nashville, you thinking like Morgan Wallen, Taylor Swift, all of these like great country artists, the CM, what is it, the CMAs or whatnot, the Country Music Awards, which is all very much so here. Jelly Roll, for an example. I mean, even though he's not, he's gender bending, but like there's definitely there's definitely like an industry of hip hop here. Like that's one thing that I think a lot of us artists, I think that's like a chip on a lot of us like Tennessee artists like shoulder, especially for this area. Is like, okay, let's try to change that narrative, because a lot of people when they think of Nashville they think of country, but when you actually come here you see that it's definitely like a prominent like industry, a lot of shows, a lot of underground. We have a few buzzing like big artists who coming from here, like who got the streets on lock as well. It's just so yeah, it's predominantly country, but there's definitely like a lane for hip hop and rap all through here. A lot of rap artists actually come down here and record. We got some of the best studios, like industry like wise studios here as well.
Yeah, I feel like there's pockets of hip hop everywhere for sure. Um, yeah, that's for. I feel like I agree with that for sure because in Michigan we also it's more of like a. I'd say punk rock is like the biggest scene out here, especially where I'm from, Grand Rapids. It's like a lot of punk rock and like rock music is kind of like the predominant genre here. But also, there's plenty of hip hop artists who can pop off and do their thing. Like, there's definitely a pocket of people out here as well, as long as along with Tennessee. I wanted to ask what your process is like when you're in the studio. Is it I'm coming with something written that I'm ready to go, I'm ready to record, or is it let me get in the studio, see what happens, maybe I'll freestyle the song?
It's really a mix of both. First when it comes to me like approaching just my studio and creative process, I just keep it organic, because like for one, being a creative, or to even make it a broader sense, just to relate it to everybody, being human isn't linear. I mean, like it's not linear. So like there's some days I'm feeling it, there's some days I'm not feeling it, there's some days I'm feeling inspired, there's some days I'm feeling uninspired. So like going into that stew, a lot of times if I am approaching it, is for one, I'm inspired. Now when I'm in there, and rather I'm gonna have some already written, or rather I'm just going off the top, it's a mix of both, man. Cause it depends. I have like a personal engineer who comes to me, I come to him, and we just like work like that. Now, when it's me and my personal engineer, or I'm just cooking up in my own like home studio, it's pretty much, free roam, off the dome. I'm sitting here just kind of meditating on the beat, seeing what comes to me, seeing how I'm feeling, seeing how I want to articulate it. Now, when I'm actually going to, because I have artists that invite me to their sessions who may want like a feature or just invite me to their sessions just so like I can cook up with them or with their engineer and they can get my process as well. Now when it comes to those encounters, a lot of times I try to come prepared with at least something. That way, I call it like warm ups. It's like a lot of times I try to make the analogy like when it comes to like being in the stew, it's like being in the gym. Like if you hoop or anything like that, like you don't just you gonna go up there, you gonna put up shots. You want to warm up and stuff like that. So like if I go in there and I already have, let's say, a track that I may have recorded at home and it's just a demo and I just want to go in there and just re-record it because I know I got better quality. I got an engineer that's going to make it reach its potential. I would most likely start with that. That way I can go ahead and have a solid track already done. I already got like how I'm feeling for it. In the process of laying that out, since I already did the hard work for it, I just got to redo it. That gets me in that zone to where I'm warmed up and I'm just like, you know what? Nah, throw some beats on, whatever it is. Like y'all want a new song, y'all want a feature, this and that. So it really just varies, man. Like just on like how I'm feeling really with it, with that. Yeah, sometimes I write. Sometimes it may be a whole song. Sometimes it may be like 4 to 8 bars. I call them jump off bars because like creative process. I'm coming up with this stuff every day. Like every day, like in passing, I'll see something. I'm like, come up with a bar. You know.
I remember I used to put out music independently, and my process I was working off my phone for a long time, and then coming into the studio, it's a bit of a shock because you're expected to come ready to go.
Right.
So I would do that same thing. Probably 4 to 8 bars. I would freestyle like everywhere I went. I would see something that would catch my eye, ooh, and I would go, and I would be like,
Right.
okay, these are like the warm ups. These are practice. This is practice.
Right.
So I definitely get that perspective for sure. Sometimes you're feeling ready to freestyle, ready to go. Sometimes the studio is a bit intimidating. Sometimes you don't come prepared, and you gotta, all right, we gotta freestyle. What do we gotta do?
Right.
Like, let's do
And
it.
then sometimes like with that freestyling, like sometimes it can come like this. It could just come, and then sometimes you like piecing stuff from the air. So like if we actually in a studio where we're paying for the time, I'm trying to be like time management. I don't want to necessarily. That's why most of the time I go in there with some things that I want to redo, and then by redoing them, it got me heated up to where I'm like, you know what, I'm in that zone. Because other than that, I don't want to initially go into there and just be freestyling because sometimes I'm hot with the freestyles and I can knock it out in less than 30 minutes, and sometimes it may be a process, because songs, I don't take value in the whole, oh, I did this song in like 5 minutes or anything like that, because
Yeah, I get that.
that don't necessarily like weigh the quality or the talent that's in the song. It's just like, okay, you did it in 5 minutes, like you did it fast, like you efficient with the fast, but the song could be, you feel me?
I get that for sure. There were definitely some times the song pops out in like 10, 20 minutes. You're like, oh shit, I did that. But like sometimes you're right. You are piecing. You're like, okay, what goes with this bar? Like you're just trying to piece something together that you can come up with. And sometimes there were songs where I was like that. I pieced it together and it sounds great. And sometimes when I pieced it together, I'd be like, oh, that's not really what I want. And then that's a good opportunity for you to redo it and you bring it in next time and have something else to work with. I like where your head's at a lot with when it comes to the studio space. You got a good mind. You don't get too caught up in the drama or in the, oh, I did this song in 10 minutes, so that means I'm hotter than you. Or
Nah,
yeah, that's
that don't mean nothing, man.
for sure. I wanted to ask you about the process that comes along with working with other artists. I wanted to ask, like, do you charge, or if it's like, I kind of want to ask, like, if it's a newer artist, somebody you've never worked with before, would you charge them? Like, what's the process like with that? Or if it's like, do you bring friends in and like people you know in the industry and have them come work with you? What's that process like as a whole? Oh, one more thing. I wanted to
Yeah.
also ask you about your EP that you just dropped in 2023. It's called From Mud, I believe. I wanted to ask you about that one because I know that was a collaborative project. So I wanted to ask you how that came about as
Okay.
well.
Okay, so let me start with the collaborative process first before I get to that project. Um a lot of times it kind of varies, man. It really varies. I will say, like, I do charge with some things because, like, I'm not only an artist. I mean, I'm not only a rapper or a musician. Like, I'm overall like a visionary. So like, and I'm a marketer as well. So there's more that comes with it besides me just laying a verse. Like, I can map out the whole video and damn near shoot the whole video as well. So like, sometimes I know artists want to work with me because they see like the intent that I have behind my own art. And a lot of times this has been a reason why a lot of artists and engineers, producers want to work with me, because they see that I'm one of those artists that if we do work together, it's gonna get out. It's gonna be put out, and it's gonna be like further thought put into it besides just in the studio we made a song. Like, there's gonna be some type of visual, some type of marketing rollout, because it's a lot of people who work together and they never see the
You would never
daylight of
know.
that art at all. And that goes for like the people who sending the beats, the people who may be doing the features, the engineer, you know what I'm saying? And everybody may be like so like in tune with it, but it's like you got this one artist that probably like lacking the motivation to push it, and that's something I don't lack. So with that being something I don't lack, and I know I'm gonna go that far with it, sometime there is a price laid on it. But but like my main priority is always the creative process. I try not to let business get in the way of the creative process, but I do like to make square business, so we have that completely laid out. That way we have an understanding here. And then, like, once we had that understanding, it's like, you know what, we got that understanding, put that in your back pocket. Let's lock in up on whatever we locking in on. And if it's somebody like just like fairly new, I haven't heard of them, they trying to come to me or anything like that, it'll most likely be laid out like that. And then we could, build up on top of that. Because a lot of times with me, I've been doing music for almost 10 years now, probably longer than that, to be honest. Seriously, almost 10 years, but like all my life though. So like, adding that price, what I learned is adding that price, it filters out people who aren't like necessarily like too serious about it. You know what I'm saying? And two is not to like filter out, like, people that's like, dang, you're adding the price. It's just like, if we can add that, and I know you're serious about this, I know you want to put in as much effort I'm gonna put in with this, you will pay it. And then, we can just move on from there and keep it pushing. Like, and after that, like, that initial, like, okay, I know you serious, then the relationship can go on from there. It may not even be, you feel me, it may not even be no more money involved in it from that point. It's just like an initial, like, I can't just do this off the strength no more, because I done gave out too many like great ideas and too many like just fire ideas, and I'm so happy to try to get them going. But like I said, some people just lack that motivation to like do such. So that's kind of right there with that process. But I do have a lot of creative friends that I do create with. A lot of it is like bartering, which is like, bartering skills. I may build content for them, and they may like, work with me for this, or vice versa. It's still some type of like exchange.
So it's like
But
I'll do this for you. Like I'll be on this song for you, and you do this for me. Like go song. Like I'll be on your song, you be on my song, kind of.
some like it sometimes it's like that, or sometimes it's like you may do this for me, and I may like work with you on some content. I got like a few like clients that like engineers that I may like, okay, you want to work with me, you want to work on some songs with me, okay, I'm gonna help you with like your branding to help you grow more. So it's just like it's always some type of exchange, or like if it's really just like one of the like day one homies that I'm just tight with, it's just that organic, like we're in the stew cooking up. And that's not to say that like I don't have fun. I got homies that's not musicians, or like I'm not gonna say musicians, but don't really take it on a serious level to where we just like if we in the living room or at the home studio, like we'll bullshit. Hey, throw on some YouTube beats, you know what I'm saying, and we'll just create something like that. And if we like what it sound like, then it may can be created to something new. But you know, it's not like I'm just saying like I'm not just too strict to where it's just like you know, it all has to be about money. It's really just about the creative process, but there is a fee on it. Sorry if that was a long-winded
Oh,
way of
okay.
just
You're okay,
answering
man. I
that.
love hearing it.
But I say that to lead on to the From Mud EP that I dropped last year. That's with my homie Vinny.
I did want
Vinny
to ask how.
Versilo.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask about him and how you two got together and made that.
Yeah, Vinny Versioso. So like that's one of my good friends I actually met up here. What brought me to like Nashville area. I sound from Jackson, that's closer to Memphis. What brought me out here was finishing out my last 2 years of college out here. And when I came out here, it was just strictly networking, meeting artists, meeting curators, meeting just anybody who had something going on, and just getting my face known, and just making sure I make connections with everybody. Like going to all of the plug and plays, going to every little event, business card ready, sticker ready, just with the mentality I have nothing to lose, only to gain. So at a lot of these little like different events, plug and plays with a lot of different artists, I'm making sure I'm talking to everybody, at least giving my card to everybody, regardless of who follows, who don't. It's like, hey, you know my face, so next time you see me, that's him. But so Vinny, I actually met in one of those like meetings, a plug and play meeting. This one was actually on the campus that I went to, which is MTSU, Middle Tennessee University. And met him there. We kind of connected. He liked what I had going on. I like what he had going on. We just kind of had a vision from there. And then just down the line, we just built a actual friendship. And that's a lot of things too with me. Like, um, I'm very organic with it. So sometimes I gotta kind of see how I gotta get your vibe too. Like, especially if you want to like record in person. It's one thing sending a verse off. That's whatever. That's whatever the song is, whatever the vibe is on the song. But in person, like where we gotta actually like exchange each other energy, like here, it's like I gotta just get to know you. And a lot of time, like if you a chill person, genuine, that's really all it takes, just being genuine, being yourself. Cause I can see through that shit. You can always see like when people not being themselves. But yeah, genuine guy. Actually made a good connection. Then we just started like collabing, making a few tracks. Just I wanna say we made that last year, 2023. I wanna say throughout like 2022, going into 2023, we were just making tracks. And it's like 5 of them on there. And just kind of just making them as we go. Then all of a sudden we like, okay, we got like 3 tracks here. Let's go ahead and like make this into an EP. Added like 2 more to them. Got my boy Todd, Sly. He's a dancer slash like graffiti artist, but graphic design artist as well. So he did the cover to that.
The cover is
And
amazing. The cover is amazing. I like that.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. It definitely was like a vision of just from mud. So it's like, 2 Spinks, which is me and Vinny. That's our faces. And like they're still in like reconstruction. You still see like the people constructing them. So it's like from mud. So it's like, we're building ourselves from mud, basically. Like the concept. And yeah, that's the first installment of that EP. Will futurely possibly be some more.
So we getting from mud too? We're from mud too, man, boy. I need it.
Will possibly be some more from there. I actually supposed to be linking with Vinny sometime here soon. But so yeah, that's kind of how that came, man. Me and him just had a few tracks. Like after a while, if I'm vibing with an artist and we got like 2 to 3 tracks already, it's at this point like, okay, what we gonna do with it? Are we finna single this out? Are we finna come up with an EP or anything like that? You know.
I did want to ask you about your Go music video. That song, I love that song. I listen to that song on the way to class on Monday morning. I'll be go, go. I'll be turning up on my way to class. I'll be turning up on my way to class Monday morning. I'll be ready to go. But
Hey, yeah.
I wanted
Nah,
to ask
what'd you
you how
say?
that video. I wanted to ask you how that video came about because it's a well-directed, well-shot video. So I wanted to ask, like, do you have a videographer you work with, or is that you putting these videos together? How does that process come about?
So first, like that get me so hyped to know like that is the reaction that you got from it, because um there's a theme throughout my music, and it's all about just like motivating. Like my music and myself, my own principle, but it bleeds out through my music is just hustle, achieve, and motivate. You feel me? So you hustling, you achieve it, and since you achieve it, you're gonna motivate others. So like that's the whole thing with that. Go. You know what I'm saying? It just posted. It's like exactly how you feel going to school. That is like the perfect like setting that I would view anybody doing it, cause like it's supposed to get you motivated to go hustle, achieve, and motivate. You know, but that video I do work with first before I go and give a shout out to my videographer up on that. Shout outs to HBK Deuce. He just dropped a project, Heartbreak Kid 3. Awesome artist. Another artist in my network of creatives. He's the one who's doing the go. He's on that track in particular. He's only on the hook, so he's the only one. Girl, let's go, go. So that's him. That's him. So shout outs to him. The visual is shot by my boy John Lane, another artist that I met when I moved up here, and knocked out my last 2 years at that university. Met him through the same process of how I met Vinny, just networking around. He liked what I had going on. I had put on a show within like my first month up here. I was just going crazy. I had curated my own show for a listening party for Tokyo Drift 2. And he came out and just shot it all. Didn't even ask him. He just came out and filmed it. So just off the love of that, we've been connected ever since. And like I'm a very visual person. So like if you go look at all of my visuals like prior to Go, you will see that they all have like this cinematic feel to them. They're all thought out. They're all entertaining, because my whole thing is I want to appeal to your senses. I want you to not only like get it like auditorial, but I also want you to like get it visually, because I want to be able to captivate you for however long that visual is, to where you're just looking at the screen. Um, so with a lot of these videos, I do come up with the treatment. With that one, I came up with most of the treatment. It was inputs with me and Vinny as well on that one. But like yeah, a lot of times like I'm a visual person. My boy John, he's a visual person. So it's just like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just good at executing whatever the idea is. Like if I'm thinking about something crazy or whatnot, like another video I recommend checking out, Orange Chicken. Orange Chicken is one of my craziest videos, to where I'm in a video game. I'm literally playing the game, looking at TV, but on the game is me fighting somebody else. And then I switch the channel. I'm climbing up a building like on some Mission Impossible shit. Switch the channel again. I'm a weatherman. So like So like I had like these ambitious ideas, and we just learned how to like, okay, this is ambitious. Let's try to dumb it down to a level to where we can still execute it. And that's just kind of how like a lot of those visuals come out. Me and John came up with a treatment for it, and just kind of just laid it out like that. Had a treatment, had this scene laid out, and just like legit just mark it off our list, knock it down. We legit had the BMW flying in the sky type deal. So it's like, so we kind of was like, we want to be on some Minute Man for that. For Go, it was more like, I think it was more like we wanted to be like Minute Man a little bit. You remember the movie Minute Man? So like that's why we had the goggles and the ties on, and we in like a BMW like flying in the sky, and then just something crazy, just something just to be entertaining, something to just grasp the viewer as they watching it, man. Like,
Next thing I wanted to ask you about was your new song, Try This Out. That's the title, right?
yeah, try this out. Yeah, that's a Tokyo mix. That's not like a official release that's up on like platforms, because that's like, when I say Tokyo mix, that's like my version of doing covers of stuff, like
Oh,
how
that's
Wayne got
awesome.
like dedication where he just jacking beats and stuff.
Mm.
Try this out is actually more on my experimental side of music. Um, it's pretty much a cover of Outkast Prototype, which is up on their Love Box. I think, no, the Love Below project, which I'm a big fan of. That's one of my favorite songs by them. And that track, I made it like 4 years ago. That's the crazy thing. I made that track
Wow.
4 years ago, Valentine's Day 4 years ago, and it's just been sitting in my vault. And I be having all these crazy ideas, but sometimes not every idea gets the love that it needs to bring it to life. So,
Yeah.
been something that's been in the back of my head around every February, and I'm like, I need to do something with that. And this year, I decided to get out of my way with a lot of things, because yes, life gets in the way, but most importantly, we get in our way more than anything. And like I said, 4 years ago of making that same song, definitely, like, it ain't been 4 years, I ain't did nothing but 4 years for that specific song. So I was like, let me make some content. Went to one of my other videographers by the name of Creative Pro. Um, Set up in her little shed. She got like this little creative shed that she turned out into like a creative space. Set up that little backdrop, all of that, and we just like, okay, we just gonna make this just strictly for like social media. So try this out. Prototype Tokyo Mix. It's not out there on streaming platforms, but if you want to enjoy it, go to my Instagram, TokyoAnt, and check it out. On TikTok. It's on social media. YouTube. I may go and throw it on SoundCloud too, if like people like really rocking with it that level to where they want to like just have it playing and stuff. I need to. So yeah, that's that one. Yeah. We got No Chill too.
I did see that as well. That's one of your newest singles.
Yeah.
I did want to ask about that because it kind of steers away, not necessarily steers away, but it's different from the sound you hear on From Mud. So I wanna see how that came about.
Okay, so like, nope. So as you say, it steers away. Like we just mentioned, from no from mud to No Chill to Try This Out. Three different kind of lanes. I mean, more similar like with the From Mud and No Chill, because it's more like I'm in my rapping bag. Try This Out is legit. Try This Out. I'm experimenting. I'm doing more melodic stuff. I actually have a lot of more melodic stuff in my bag. And I'm gonna be rolling that out too. But so like No Chill, um, more fast paced, more more rappy, barred up on the track. It's a lot of stuff that's gonna come out on that line. Like I've been just, when I say, man, I've been like in my bag going crazy for like the past like year and a half. Because I'm one of them artists where like, even though I've been doing music for a long time, I've always known that I can always get better. Because it was a point where I was dropping music and I wasn't even a fan of myself like that. But other people was like, bro, I like this. But me in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's all right, but I know I could get better. It wasn't to the point where I'm like, I'm somewhere, I'm like, hey, throw this on. Like, I wasn't a fan of that at first, but I literally watched myself become a fan of. I think that kind of became around Tokyo Drift 2, the project I had mentioned earlier that I did a listening party where I met like a lot of artists at. Um, but since then, I just been finding myself, finding my flows. No Chill is a testament to kind of like how my last year was. I don't even know how to relax. I don't even know how to chill. All I know is get the racks. And I love how it feel. 12 months straight, no vacay. Like, because I was just going hard with just working, just having no chill at all. Like, so that song is just about like grinding, working. You should take care of yourself. You should treat yourself. Don't do no 12 months with no vacay unless like you planning on taking some time off. Like, which I definitely did some vacays, but yeah, it's just like it was just like me just kind of just releasing some steam, kind of just like being like, just really just like popping my shit off and just letting folks know what it is. So that's why I kind of came out the gate with going into this year. Like, I wanted to go out with a statement, no chill, high energy. That video goes crazy too. Now that video was actually shot by Solo Visuals. That's a good friend of mine who actually kind of been here since the start of when I started taking music very seriously. So like a lot of my beginning videos where you don't even see the locks, you just see a little hot top fade, skateboarding. Like I was a big skateboarder and stuff like that. When you see all of that stuff, a lot of those visuals actually come from Solo. And with No Chill, that visual came from Solo as well. And so yeah, just coming into 2024, just like making a statement, high energy, no chill, just letting folks know that like, look, like foot's on the gas and there's no letting up at all. So I'm just releasing it. I'm just opening the vault, releasing it at this point, and that's what I started with. That video goes freaking crazy. Like me and bro came up with that concept in 15 minutes and just like knocked it out. We was like legit on some high shit. And I'm like, hey bro, like with this visual, like what if I'm smoking, rapping my song, and I look down at the rolling tray, and it's a little me looking up at me, rapping it back to me. And he's like, yeah, bro, that'd be hard. So for an example, like how I said with John, with all of my videographers, they know I'm very creative, very out the box with it. So that's a very like that's a very like ambitious thing. Like you on a tray, like how we gonna do that? So it's like break it down, do it, green screen. You can even see me like passing the joint and I'm grabbing something that look like a joint. It's not even a joint. It's legit a backdrop that's rolled up that's white. So just putting it together and just seeing it come to life, man. That's really like me as a creative. That's really like the biggest thing I get off on is just watching my ideas come to life, and that's in any aspect of what I do. Like any idea come to life.
I noticed a piano in your, I'm not sure if it's your home studio space, but I saw it on an Instagram post. So I wanted to ask what role you play in production and engineering. Are you involved in that aspect of it, or do you have producers you talk to? And I know you talked about some engineers you work with. Um, so are you involved in that at all? Do you make your own beats on occasion, or is it more so hitting up producers?
So with my overall like creative process, I try to be as hands on as possible. When it comes to beat making, excuse me, I'm not a beat maker. I'd rather have somebody make it and I can just kind of put a little 2 cents in. Like I like this sound. Let's I like what you're doing there. Let's dive deeper into there. Like let's cut that off a little bit. So it's just like a little bit of input there. But overall, like I'm not making my own beats. Do I have the means to? Do I have a whole beat machine in my home studio? Yes. So it's just a matter of just like getting to that level, evolving to that level. But but yeah, I have engineers that I'm hands on with. I have producers, and to break that down, I know some people kind of like, I know that word is, it's almost like a slash, or it's interchangeable. But like my engineers is like the ones that I'm going, they're recording me, they're doing the mixing and the mastering. But my producers are like the ones who are sending me beats. I have a few of them. Two of them that I've mainly been working with is Mookie. You're gonna hear Mookie, you made this. You're gonna hear that up on some stuff. One guy I've been like locked in with heavy is this guy named Lexa. You actually hear him up on the No Chill. His is Lexa, you the greatest. Like um yeah, they go pretty crazy. Like they work with me enough to where they just kind of know what to send me. I'm not an artist, and for people out there who may be interested in working with me or sending beats or anything like that, I'm not an artist to necessarily come in and be like, "Hey, I want these type of beats," or "Hey, I want this type of thing." Now there's some ideas I may want to execute that may require these things, but for the most part, I'm pretty open minded, and I look at the beat like a canvas. So it's like my producer would probably drop me off like 4 to 5 beats, and it's almost like a little variety pack. I don't know what to expect, but as soon as I play them beats, it's just whatever comes to me. Like I feel the beat and I feel what's in my spirit, and it's almost like that collaborative thing to where this is what you was feeling, but what you was feeling brought this up out of me, because sometimes that's just how it is. They may like a lot of my melodic stuff, like people like been sending me stuff and I'm like, okay, this made me feel like I want to sing, or people send me this and this made me feel like I want to spaz. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just kind of like that with it.
I feel you. I can understand that. Being hands on with those people is definitely important because even if you're not, even if you don't necessarily have the facility, well, you said you do have the facilities, but you don't have maybe the time and the energy to make 5, 10,
Right.
12 beats. So being hands on with those people, it is important. I'm gonna stress this point home. It is important as hell to delegate some work. Oh,
It
be hands
is,
on with
bro.
those people, yes, but delegate that work
It
because you will have so
is.
much more time and headspace to chase after what you really want to do if you just
Right.
hand that thing over. Trust these people in your life. They want to help you. Hand it over. They will bring the best. It will bring the best out of you.
Hey, bingo for sure, bro. Cause like I kid you not, man. Like me being a creative, I normally like market myself as just a creative, because it's not just music with me. It's a lot of other things, like from the videos I market, I do content for other people. Like I do so much to where that delegating work is very much so important, man. It's like yeah, it's good to know it all, and that's one thing with me. I like to know it all. I like to have the knowledge of it. That way I can be able to articulate it to these people. If you got knowledge of it, it's easy to explain what it is. But also too, it's like I'm one person. I can't focus on everything. Like when I'm doing videos, like when I'm doing content for some of my clients, it's like yeah, I can execute this for you. I can shoot this video for you, but at the same time, I have a whole list of like people right here that I know this is exactly what they do. So I can really just direct you to them. I can really just like broker you to them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like putting it up on me, where you know what I'm saying, like you said, delegating work is very much so important. It's very much so value in knowing. It's very much so value in knowing like, hey, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have the time to. Like that's one thing is big. Like time management is very much so big, and like directing your energy, because like you will stress yourself thin trying to do everything. You feel me?
For sure, I get that. I mean, I told you the first time we spoke. I'm a college student.
Right.
I have a committed relationship. Like we are.
Right.
Like there are so many things to manage in our lives. Like there's things beyond this that I have to focus on, but at the same time, this is such a big part of my life. Like we just put out a story 2 days ago, and that was something I was meaning to do because there's so many avenues of this space specifically because I'm trying to build up a publication. It's not just the content or it's not just the interviews. You also have to make sure
Right.
the website is growing and make sure that you're updating things on the website and on the YouTube and on the Instagram, and you have all these different tasks to manage. And right now it is just me, but I definitely plan to get some people in there because I have uh, a university of resources. I have there's a whole
Right.
program at my school, which is where I plan to take this next, and being like, I know there's people out there like me who want to be radio hosts or work for a publication, and I can give that to people. So I
Right.
want to definitely branch out further in
I
the future.
definitely I definitely agree that you should do that, man. I recently was just invited at the end of last month to go speak at my old high school for a Black History program,
I did want to
and
ask you about that. I want to.
I'm sorry if I'm skipping past your questions.
Oh,
We can
you're
stay
okay.
for a
You're
lot
okay.
longer.
Talk on it. Yeah, go ahead. Talk on it.
But like, man, it's amazing. It's amazing to like go through my whole creative journey of just being a musician, being a student. I went to community college. I got an associate's. I went to a university. I got a bachelor's. I was still creating music. I was still making videos, and just and even on top of that, like screenwriting. I came out with a short film and all of that, and like to go through all of that, which it sounds glamorous, but it was a lot of ups and downs. But to go through all of that and to share my journey with a whole student and faculty, and to just see like after the fact, like I was just kind of letting them know like the whole premise of the speech was just like sow those seeds, water your garden, and see how beautiful your harvest is. So like get those ideas going, implement those ideas, work through the process, and just watch what you receive just by doing that. And just kind of extending out to them like, hey, I got these few things going on. Feel free to reach out to me, like if y'all have any ideas. And just to see all those kids like after the speech come and talk to me, and to see like my Instagram just being blown up by like I'm seeing in everybody bios like class of 2026, class of 2027. So I'm like, okay, these are like freshmen and sophomores here. Like, so like that's awesome, man. Just to be able to the knowledge that like the knowledge that we have is powerful. It's good to give that back. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of kids who been in our situation who don't even know where to start, don't have nobody like pushing them in the right direction. So to be somebody like that, to go ahead and give them some type of sense of direction, it makes it, you know what I'm saying? It makes their process so much smoother than what we done went through, man. And like, that's what I took from that. And I'm just saying, like, I recommend you do that, man. Go to that school and let them know. Cause for one, the best situations is always a win-win. If you win it and if the other person winning, there nobody can lose. Nobody's upset. Nothing. Like we're both winning here. You get what I'm saying? Y'all winning by doing something you want to do. You're winning by also helping. I'm winning by you also helping me as well. So that's how I love it, man.
Was that a gratifying experience to be recognized by your local community?
Man, it really was, man, because like a lot of people can testify. It's hard, like coming from Jackson to the Nashville, Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee area. I definitely got more gratification out here than I did in my hometown. That's not to say that like people in my hometown don't support me. Like they definitely support me in all type of ways. I'm not one of them artists where I base my value off of how much you are interested in my music or my expressions, because a lot of them know me on a personal level to where I know they support me. I know they love me. They know what I do. So to be able to go back to my old high school, see my old teachers and do that, man, like that was a blessing, bro. Like that warmed my heart like so much to even be able to do that. I'm like, okay. And then too, to also put yourself in new situations or uncomfortable situations and watch yourself rise to the occasion. It just lets you know, just like how we said, full-time students, this, that, all that up on your plate. It has you, it puts you to the point where I can't make no excuse for myself because I had way more on my plate before this. So this ain't nothing. This small shit to a giant. So like doing that, it's like, okay, boom, public speaking in front of like 200 people, check. Like, you feel me? Like, at first I'm nervous, but at the same time, it ain't no different from performing, because I done performed in front of like over 100 people before. So it was just different because I'm sitting here giving a speech instead of doing a song that I've probably done repeated and heard thousands of times. I legit came up with that speech on my 2 hour drive to my hometown. Like, for real.
Well, that's amazing, man. I'm happy you got to experience that. That's dope, man. I would love to do that one day. I wanted to ask you about the process of putting out a song. If that's a more so calculated process, like we're gonna put it out at this time, this day, or is it? Do you keep things in the vault and when you feel it's the right time, you let it go?
Okay, so yeah, I definitely try to be strategic. I try to have a strategy to it because a lot of artists think that a lot of artists think the process ends once the song is done or once the song is out. Not at all. There's like what would you say? There's like the song, and then you have like process A2. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all these different processes. So it's like making a song. First of all, does this song resonate with me? Does this song resonate with the ears that I have to like share my music with, to give me that more assurance that like this is the song? Because not every song that you fall in love with is necessarily the right song. So you gotta like get that little input in from everybody. Once the song is actually out, it's like, with me, it's like, okay, it is a strategy. I like to see like, okay, am I gonna already have a video done with it? Because I've been doing music so much. Every time I've done it, it's like, okay, what didn't work with me that last time? Okay, that last time I dropped the song before I even got the video out. So I dropped the song, and then life started getting in the way to where I couldn't get the video. I couldn't film the video in the most timely manner. So the video came out 2 months later, type deal. So next go round, let me have the song already mastered. Let me have the videos already done. So this time, when I actually have a set day, it's like I already have this stuff out on autopilot. I can legit just schedule these posts. I can legit just break this video down in this much like content, to where I have a month, 2 months of content. Put this stuff on autopilot. That way my personal life and myself don't get in the way of me pushing this music out. So meanwhile, y'all seeing like this music going like this, but behind the scenes, I may be going through something. But the fact is, I looked out for myself ahead of time to avoid that. And it's like, I did all this behind scenes. Because the best thing is, another thing I be telling folks that I work with in the stew, look, man, like, this ain't done until it's out. So like, with me saying that, it's like the people not expecting it until you announce it. So put as much as you need into that process to where your rollout is as smooth as possible. You got your video done, you got the song done, you got like probably some other little side content for the song done. That way it's just rolling out like that. And so yeah, it is a strategy to it. Now that strategy is always getting critiqued and strengthened though as I go along, but it's always strategic with me, always.
So it's from what I'm hearing, it's from sort of personal experience. You grow as an artist, you learn
Right.
as you do rollouts. And I appreciate the hell out of the fact that you are an artist that dedicates so much time into having a good song rollout, album rollout, whatever it may be, because there are so many young, talented artists that put out a song, no music video, throw it on their story, go listen to my song. They do it once and they don't do it again. This is
Man,
your song. If you don't care about it, if you don't care about it enough to promote it, no one else is going to.
I tell you. Cause at the end of the day, like, you gotta believe in yourself so much that other people believe in you. I'm a fine believer of seeing, like, I've turned people into believers. and I've seen it. I've seen people that was like when I first started making clothes in high school, I had a clothing brand called Trio in high school, and I seen people like, oh, he think he famous. What, you know what I'm saying? He think he famous, but those same people, I watched them turn into believers. I watched them start ordering my clothes. Them same people were like, okay, they probably didn't like this song. That's cool. That's cool. You didn't like this song. The next one, it catch you. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you like this song. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this song keep you on track with me. But if you don't believe in yourself, how you expect anybody else to believe you? And then too, like a lot of artists, it's an ego thing. A lot of us gotta check our ego and understand that, like, listen, that's why when I came up here, I kept that ego of I have nothing to lose but only to gain. Because it's like this. It's still like we're still door to door with this shit. We still, hey, I got this. Hey, I got this, because there's so many people that don't know about us. And it takes you to bring your awareness out here, because if not, then nobody's not gonna know. If you don't bring this up in the conversation, nobody's gonna know. Closed mouths do not get fed. And a lot of us already had an ego of like, oh, we the shit. Just because your group of people is on your shit, that's cool. But at the end of the day, your little population of people is only a population of people in a ocean, in a world of thousands, not even thousands, man, billions of people. So your music is always gonna be new to somebody. That song, Try This Out, 4 years old. You wouldn't even know that until I told you. You know what I'm saying? So like, but still though, I could have dropped that 4 years ago and re-brought it again, and it's gonna be new to somebody. So it's our like responsibility as artists to be our biggest cheerleader. Even though I know how like draining it can be, all of that. It's like, look, man, it's just what comes with the job. Like, you don't like your 9 to 5. You don't like the bullshit that come with your 9 to 5, but at the end of the day, you gonna show up to get your money. So why not show up for yourself? And that's one thing with me. I'm gonna show up for me. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. What I like to say with the people in my life is believe in yourself like you believe the sun is going to come up tomorrow morning,
I'm telling you.
which is spot on. I wanted to ask you two more questions, and we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I wanted to ask you some of your musical inspirations and then what you think the state of hip hop is right now.
All right, so some of my musical inspirations, man. I'm a big Lil Wayne fan. Been a big Lil Wayne fan since a little boy. Like, he's probably one of the reasons that I wanted dreads. And just the reason I probably like skateboarding, all of that, like rock, all of that. Like, so Lil Wayne, Mac Miller, R.P.
Boy,
Mac,
Mac
man.
Miller. Shout out Mac, RIP Mac. We just put up something for him the other day. Mac Miller
I
is my
saw,
favorite artist.
I
I
saw, man.
have
I
a
love
poster.
Mac,
I'm looking at it right here. It's a Mac Miller poster. I have another Mac Miller
man.
poster right here.
I'm telling you, I
Shout
love
out
Mac.
Mac
Like,
Miller.
I love Mac. Like, that was one artist that like passed away that like hurt me deep. Like how people was feeling about Michael Jackson. That's how I was feeling about Mac Miller. Like, just respectfully. So like, so Lil Wayne, Mac Miller, um, those are probably like my goats. But just over the years of people that like got like legit stamp marks in my life would be like Kendrick Lamar, overly dedicated, a lot of his projects, a lot of Chance old stuff. So yeah, those are a few people. And my music, it really varies. Like, my music interest varies. I like listening to all type of stuff: rock music, Pink Floyd, Tame Impala. I like to listen to, my music range is long, so influences on that is pretty much everything. Um, the state of hip hop, man, is definitely oversaturated. So with it being oversaturated, I will say a lot of the quality has went down. The entry level to get into it is very much so easy. Only thing you need is a mic and this, and you can put whatever up, and anything's gonna blow. I steer away from saying stuff is trash or ass or anything like that, because at the end of the day, what's what may not be my preference, because music is so subjective. What may not be my preference may be 1,000 other people's preference. So music is constantly growing, it's constantly evolving, and I just say if you put your blinders on and just stick to whatever you got going on, focus in upon that, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Everything, all of the like extra stuff and white noise, you're gonna like not focus on that and just lock in with yourself because nowadays saying that you're an artist don't even have the same shock value as it used to back in the days when I said people I'm an artist. Now it's like I do music and it's like either they cousin do music or the person who's saying you do music like, oh, I do music too. Let's show each other music. You know what I'm saying? At first it'd be like, oh, you an artist? You know, but at the end of the day, man, focus on yourself, lock in with yourself, know that it's enough for everybody. And hey, stay true to you. Believe in you. Because if you believe in you, everybody else will too. So that's how I feel about music nowadays.
I love that. I appreciate you coming on the show today, man. You really gave us a lot to think about. You gave us a real insight into your music career, your music journey. We appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the fourth episode, not second episode, fourth episode of Rap Roots Media Interviews. Follow us on Instagram and all social media platforms, official Rap Roots, and check out the website, www.raprootsmedia.com. Check out TokyoAnt on all platforms, on social media, all that. We appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you.